It is a period piece based on 4 novels set in Naples. It's a subtitled drama that even if you're in Rome watching it, you'd have to use subtitles because the dialect is so bespoke to the area that it's not a very well-known dialect. It opens up with an older lady getting a phone call from a friend's son saying that his mum's gone missing or her clothes have gone, and she sort of pretends that she's not really interested, and then she decides to tell us, the audience, who this woman is, and decides to write her story of their friendship together, which started at the age of 6. They sort of live in the sort of war-torn suburbs of Naples, and it goes up to they're 16 and 25 and think 7 up, but with 2 young girls and in Naples. And the first episode is centered around the lives of Lenu and Lila, who are 2 very, very bright girls. Lenu being she's sort of more well-to-do in the society, but not a great deal. And Lila is sort of this sort of street urchin whose father makes shoes, whose family is quite poor, and she is just very, very mischievous, but very, very clever and eloquent, and nobody really knows where she gets all her knowledge from. She just sort of seems to know everything, even before Lenu, who considers herself to be quite smart, knows it all. It's already in her. She just exudes it. And even though they're complete opposites, they kind of have an attraction to one another in as much as they're fascinated by one another. And it's just their lives really told through this quite somewhat bizarre but very believable relationship and friendship that they develop. Sky Atlantic is showing 2, so it's Sunday and Monday, Sunday and Monday, Sunday and Monday, and that's what HBO are doing as well. I didn't think I was going to like it, and I sort of fell under its spell. I found the world very interesting, very authentic, somewhat like Deadwood, but with young girls. I thought it was really good. It's brutally violent as it goes on. I found it really fascinating, and I'd be interested in your thoughts.
The first episode for me had definitely a touch of like the Good Will Hunting about it, or certainly the opening part, sort of like this sort of child prodigy that as you say, mysteriously knew how to write and read quite complex Italian. Whereas, most of the other... Well, they sort of showed this scene, didn't they, where all the other girls were sort of writing lines, literally a line in a page, like for music, and she was doing fully formed words.
She just sort of exudes this sort of intelligence, and it's sort of beyond her years and beyond her classmates' years.
I think it is a sweet family drama, and I think, as you say, the relationship between those 2 is certainly what I think will bring people back to it.
It's not a sweet family. I can see why you'd get that from what
Well, that's
you've
what
seen,
I'm saying at the beginning, and I've not watched anything more than episode 1, so
yeah.
I don't think it's for me. I didn't really. I mean, I struggled a little bit with the pace and the subtitles a bit. I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't expecting them. I mean, I did give it my full attention. I wasn't knitting or doing anything else in between. I don't know. It didn't quite grip me in the same way that it obviously has done with you.
I'm with Gary on this. I think maybe you've enjoyed it because you've watched some together. But in terms of watching just the one episode, I didn't find myself really getting into the world like you did. I found it quite dull in some places, if I'm honest. I thought the girls were good, the young performers, and I thought the sort of the cinematography and everything, the design of it, but it just left me a bit cold.
Okie doke. Well, it's a great show, and it's on Sunday and Monday.
Is that it?
Sky Atlantic.
Yeah,
well, if you, that's why we have.
I did worry about Gary going to church after that scene in the church.
Oh yeah, no, but my church is nothing like that.
I didn't think it was a sweet family drama either.
No,
the mafia.
I suppose my wording is wrong. I suppose I can see the word "sweet" is more about their relationship. Mm. The family part is because there's involvement from the families, I suppose.
The family, the actual.
Yeah,
the Soprano family.
But yeah, my review would be needs more mafia.
Oh, it gets more mafia.
I find that this is like, you have to watch the next one. This isn't like an episodic drama. This is part of a whole story, and
Mhm.
you're just like focusing
That's
on
because
one
it's based
thing.
on a novel.
Yeah,
I suppose.
I know, and it's a novelization, so it doesn't feel like a TV series. And I'm
And
finding this more and more now that it's just like people expected to watch all 8 by just
Mm.
watching the first one, and I didn't feel it gave me enough reason.
and I
Just
didn't really like the idea that she's writing a novel and that was how you saw the background. It didn't quite appeal
quite
to me.
expositional in points, yeah, and then quite dull in other places, and yeah, it just didn't really work for me. I don't know if I'd have watched it all in sort of one sitting, and you could tell it was sort of it didn't work for me at all. I just found it very dull.
It's My Brilliant Friend. If you want to watch it, it's in Italian. It's subtitled and it's on Sky Atlantic Sunday and Monday at 9.